The Jordan Tatum line has never been like my favorite for basketball sneakers. With the Jordan Tatum 4 coming out officially on October 10th, I had expectations set very realistically, not high, not low, just right there in the middle. Did his newest shoe live up to my very, very mild expectations? Let's find out. Jordan Tatum 4 Bloodline. Now the shoe is dropping on November 1st for $130. The Tatum 4 has already dropped. This I believe is the second colorway, probably the best colorway that I've seen to date for the Tatum 4s. Tatum line generally, I've never really loved. Tatum 3s, kind of disappointing. And this, don't like it. It looks too similar to the 3s. It's kind of retro, that part I do like, but I guess it keeps the DNA of the Tatum 3s, and carries it forward, but I don't love it. It does remind me also a little bit of the Shaq Gnosis with these kind of swirly lines on the upper, but it's not really exactly for me. The colorway though, I love. Black, white, red, can't go wrong, super sleek, love the color combination. Yeah, the look of the shoe, it's not my favorite. And the materials on the shoe, this is hot garbage. Come on, man. This area where it extends onto the toe box, that feels just like absolute synthetic nubuck. Honestly, calling a synthetic nubuck like a disservice to genuine nubuck. And this toe area where it extends onto the eye stays, that is just synthetic suede, kind of like that felt material that you see on MX1s. Absolute junk as well. And then the rest of the shoe, you will get some textile, which is fine, pretty common for like modern day basketball shoes. But again, it feels cheap. And then on the lateral side of the shoe, you will see this Jumpman. That is like its own piece. That is rubber. And the white parts, like where the lines and where your feet typically flex, that is like the base layer of the shoe. That's like a mesh material, pretty regular there. But yeah, just the materials here just... it is not good. It is absolutely not good. And I get why basketball shoes can use synthetic sometimes. Weight savings gives you like a broken in type of feeling when you first put the shoe on. No break-in time needed. But this just feels like hot garbage. It is not great. And then moving up the tongue, you get a pretty regular mesh tongue with Jason Tatum's logo up top. So again, that kind of synthetic nubuck material does not feel great with Jason Tatum's logo stitched there. At least it's stitched, not like printed. And even Jason Tatum's logo, I don't know if it's just me, that looks cheap too. Like it looks so lazy. Man, they're really doing him dirty. And he seems like too nice of a guy to really complain about it. He really does seem like a very professional player and just a very chill dude, but I will complain on his behalf because this is doing him dirty. And then right behind the tongue, you will see Deuce stitched. That is Jason Tatum's son's name. And then moving on to the booty of the shoe, I do kind of like this part. That is a jeweled number 0. That is obviously his number. Now, I don't want to rip the insole out and really damage it, but it is nothing great. It's just a very generic insole. In the box of the shoe, you will see the same kind of design language as you see on the upper of the shoe with these swirly type of lines. And the lines here, you can actually feel the texture of it. It feels kind of like chalk. So it's not just flat with Jason Tatum's hot garbage, cheap looking logo. Inside you'll get Jason Tatum's branding again. And in terms of the cushioning of the Tatum 4s, you will get a Cushlon 3.0 midsole, which I love. That came on the Sabrina 2s as well. The first time it actually appeared on a basketball shoe was the Sabrina 2s. I really love Cushlon 3.0. It feels very bouncy. Super comfortable if you're wearing this like for casual use. Now on the Tatum 3s, you had that rubber cup sole that made this more stiff and honestly provided a bit more of a stable feel. But this is just straight Cushlon 3.0. It even says that there just to remind you. And over here in the middle, you will actually get like this TPU shank to provide more stability and support there. And on it, it says find a way. Now in the forefoot area, you would actually get an uncaged zoom unit. I believe that also existed since the Tatum 1s. So that is for maximum responsiveness. Now in terms of the zoom, you feel it, but like not too much. The responsiveness isn't anything that'll blow your mind away. Cushioning wise, I think how it feels, the bounciness is good. But on this setup, I don't love. And the reason why is because in terms of the support for the shoe, even though there's like a midfoot TPU plate, it just bends and twists quite easily. And I'm not even like a heavyweight player that needs a ton of support. I rarely ever complain about support on my basketball shoes. Modern day shoes mostly do the job for me, but when you're playing, you want a bit more stiffness. So when you're really stopping on a dime, pushing off, you get a bit more firmness to get that kinetic energy return and to feel just more stable. The materials, even though they're hot trash, I don't think my light self can really bust through these materials. So the containment in terms of the materials is fine for me, but just the overall support, even the heel counter feels kind of soft, doesn't feel super stiff. Everything just felt a little wonky and I didn't love it. And my second gripe of this shoe is the traction. So just on paper, majority like herringbone traction, different directions in terms of the middle of the shoe and then the white kind of outline there. But it takes a while to break in, to really feel good traction. And even then, I don't think it was that great. So I always do my B-roll at the same gym and I'll always have another pair of shoes just to do a comparison. Usually the other pair is just whatever I played with most recently. So I had the Kobe 4 Girl Dad, put that on right after this. Now my gym where I shoot my B-roll is pretty dusty, not the best maintained, so keep that in mind. But it performed much better than this. This, I was just sliding everywhere. If a shoe doesn't provide enough traction for me, I just have real trouble like sticking with it. Now I will say if you play in a gym that's like super clean, always very well maintained, this will do just fine. Most shoes, I think in 2025, if they have any common sense traction, will do fine in a very clean gym. But if you know you're going to a gym that's kind of dusty, or if you're not sure of the condition of the gym, I would just recommend staying away from these. There are better options out there. In terms of the stiffness and hardness and toughness of the rubber, it is not that good. So it's a little soft. So if you want to play outdoors, I guess you could, but durability wise, it's really just going to burn through that rubber. Now, in terms of core feel, you will probably notice this shoe is pretty thick in terms of the cushioning. So you're not sitting that close to the ground compared to other shoes like what's a very low shoe currently? AE2s, Sabrina 2s, 3s, the Kobe 9 EMs that I have behind me. You really get a very low profile feeling. This one, not very low, which would be fine if there was better rigidity and support. Because when you're a little bit higher off the ground and you get a very soft and smooth ride, even though it's bouncy, it just feels a little bit unstable. So it's not my favorite. Now, in terms of the base of the shoe, it is decently wide. So that gives it some stability. And the outrigger here, nothing too aggressive. I would have preferred a bit more of an aggressive outrigger. And in terms of the sizing and comfort for the Tatum 4s, this is where the Tatum line, I think generally is pretty good for wide footers, but maybe too good because there was quite a bit of empty space. So like the toe box area was one that I noticed. I could go down half a size. If you have wide and flat feet, I probably would recommend sticking true to size just so you don't hurt your arches if you go down half a size, but I do notice it. And that was also something that I felt in the Tatum 3s as well. Now, one thing this shoe does really well, at least relative to the other factors and aspects of the shoe, is the weight. A lot of weight savings, very light. So if shaving weight is a priority for you, this is definitely a very viable option. And in terms of overall comfort, if you want to wear these off court, super comfortable. If you don't need to do anything strenuous in this shoe, the Cushlon 3.0 underfoot, super soft, bouncy, it's plush. That feels great just walking around on the street. Now, final verdict of the Tatum 4. Is this a shoe that I am going to keep in my rotation to play ball with on a frequent basis? Absolutely not. Just, yeah, very disappointing. For $130, I think the Ja 3s are better. The Sabrina 3s are better. I think the A1s are better. It's not like the Sabrina 3s or A1s have great materials, but I don't know, for a Jordan athlete, the synthetic materials on these just feel so cheap. And then you have the cushioning, 3.0 Cushlon, I love, but the overall lack of great traction and support, as well as core feel for me, just makes this shoe, again, like the Tatum 3s, for me, slightly disappointing. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Jordan Tatum 4 Bloodline. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.